We're here to solve the statue park by Palmer Mebane called Second Generation. And if you zoom out a bit, you'll see that there are 12 pentomino shapes that start in the grid, all the 12 unique pentomino shapes actually, and each of them has two black cells as statue park clues. So what we're taking is a set of pentominos with two marked cells and making a second set of pentominos as a second generation solution here. So pretty cool theme. And the thing to note, if you've seen maybe themes like this before, is that having 24 black clues, that's one sort of aspect of this theme, means that the average pentomino is going to have two of these black clues in it. And it means as I'm getting started in this grid, I'm seeing a clue up here that can't join to anything else. So we're going to have actually have like some that join to 3. And here's actually a set where we can get 3 together and they're actually forced to. I can't take this fourth without taking that fifth. But we're getting a case where, and I'll mark this I think in white, that the pentomino count is probably quite limiting. There's going to be moving out from here a third pentomino. If it didn't use this cell, it's another V, so we'll always use this cell. We don't know the next one. It could be a P, an F, or a W, but it comes in here. This one coming up is going to be pentomino 4, and it will always take this cell, but it will take this through 4 cells, so it can't reach out to here. And it can't take all of these over or would join into this cell, so we'll take this. So this will be 4, and it will be a Y or a P. This one is 5, and it may connect to this clue or not, but it's not connecting to any other black cell. So there's a way that where that is 5, this is 6, and it has to take this cell. If it doesn't take this cell, it always has this shape, and that's not going to work in the grid. So we have 6 here, which is working off of 5. It can come all the way over to this clue just fine. That's 5 away. It can't come to this clue, so notice that this has to be a 7th. It's not near 5 or 6. And this can join down here, can join up to here, so we're not going to do any more counts from that clue at this moment, but we'll say we now have 7 of the pentominoes marked. There's going to be an 8th that's starting from this cell, and it can't come all the way up here without the 1 tracking down, so we'll always take this, so these do come together. And now I see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clues up here, and no 3 of them look like they can connect. So this will have to be where we have groups of 2 pentominoes to get 4 more, and actually this will have to sit outside of them, but let me sort of show you how I'm thinking through that. So one way is that this top one connects over here, so these 2 join. These 2 join somehow. They've got a set of options. That means these 2 join, which means these join, and we get this U shape. And again, this one is part of a different group coming down here. Different way, if this didn't go to the right, is this joins to this one and this one join together in some set of ways in blue. That means these join together, and that means this one and this one have to come together, and they do this U shape up here, but not through the space. So regardless, we're going to see that we can go sort of through larger points. This will be 9, this will be 10, this set will be 11, this will be 12, because these can't, none of these numbers can join together. And notice that this cell here can only now come to the number 7 that I've marked in the grid, so it has to come down and over like so. That means this can't join up to 7, has to come over, that is 6. This will have to come up, puts this in, puts that over. So we get an I and a T marked in. We'll just sort of update our inventory. We have the IT and the V from before. Trying to see if there are a few things we can force about this bottom position. The only really forcing cell around the 3 is this one, which makes this a W. It would actually mean that the connectivity is through this cell, and that would force 7 to be a W. So I think one thing we can say is that this cell is open for the 3. It's not doing too much for us, but it at least says P or F are here. We know that the U was up top, but does that tell us if the U is here or U is here? I think one of the things that looked potentially promising is how limitations will play out on the top. And typically when we're in this sort of shape packing side, either long shapes or unusual shapes where X is our favorite trope in a pentomino puzzle set to look at. Did any of the shapes around red or blue look like they could be X's? 10 can't be an X, 11 can't be an X, 12 can't be an X, 9 can't be an X, 1 can't be an X, these down below can't be an X. So 8 is the X, is my next point of progress. 1 then has to come over to at least this cell. It can't be the N because that isolates this position. So it's going to be an L or a Y. And where this is then like a P or a Y, my sense is these long shapes are going to be key. So remember, one of these options, I think it was this one with this long 9, was forcing an L up top, was putting a U here, and that was then forcing another connection. I think this is going to be an issue, so let me draw this again. Let's first clear these colors. If this is 9 coming across, 10 was then the U, 11 has to join here. This being an L means this has to be a Y, but this is an L or a Y in the corner. So red is using up 3 pieces that are of LY shape only. So blue is the set of connections that have to happen. Remember, in blue, the one pentomino we could force was a U up top. We have an unknown set of connections here and an unknown set of connections here. One thing that won't be reached is this cell. This will be taken. This is shaded off. So we have U in the grid now. The next sort of thing may still be about most constrained shapes. So we've done an elimination on the 3 about the W. So let's maybe come back to the W shape. Not W, not W, not W. 11 can't be W, 10 can't be W. 7 is the only thing right now that can be the W. So we mark that in. What's another constrained space? Well, we have Y and P and F and L. So let's not look at Y, P, F, or L. Let's look at N or Z. N can be 9, it can be 10 right now. So let's look at Z. Z can't be over here for 11. Z can't be 10. Z can't be anything else. So Z must be 9. And I just said that looking at N and Z were key, and 9 could be N. Well, 9's now Z, so what else can be N? N can only be 10 in the stage of the grid, so we'll mark that in. And now that should give us a lot more. So first, this 11 connection will have to come up top, and we'll always take this cell. It doesn't take this cell. This being a T, it's already in the grid, so this is a P, so not a P, this is an F, not a P, this is a Y, not a Y, this is an L, and we finished the puzzle. So really good Saturday puzzle, depending on how quickly you saw the 24 black clue theme with the 12 given pentominoes, I think would clue you into how important the count was. I liked having this either or cycle for the 9, 10, 11, 12, but the clues I marked in are actually these other ones too. You can mark with those numbers to, again, force a connection down below and an exact count of the rest, and then just finding unique shapes. Getting the X was maybe easier, but by the end, just seeing where I had a few of these options and just clued into like Z and N were 2 shapes I didn't have anywhere else in the bottom of the grid, so where could you put them at the top of the grid? Getting 9 and 10 of Z and N were the last aha moments to get through to the finish. So a fun, challenging puzzle. Hopefully you got a sense of how I look at statue park puzzles and use notation to make headway, and take these tips to the next time you have a hard challenge like this. We'll see you again soon.